You know, they've had the topic of boomers coming up a whole lot recently over the past few weeks, but it's only today that I decided I wanted to come out and make a video about it and give my 2 cents. So in any case, I was watching Fox News earlier today, and they did a whole segment about how there's a divide between boomers and the other generations. And they really went on talking about how the phrase "okay boomer" is offensive to them. And I started thinking, you know what, I'm going to go put my 2 cents into the Fox News comment section. But first, you know, I'm gonna read and see what's being said down there. And the whole comment section is nothing but boomers, baby boomers, talking about how ungrateful our generations are, how weak we are, how they are so tough, and all this other bullshit, and basically just being stereotypical dumb fucking boomers, right? And for anybody that doesn't know what a boomer is, it's somebody that was born during or after World War II, but prior to, I'd say, around 1970. And these are the people that grew up being either the military service age, went on to serve in Vietnam, or they were the flower children, the rebellious generation that permanently transformed American culture. You know, boomers are the ones that were calling soldiers baby killers in Vietnam and pelting them with rocks when they came home. The ones that protested against the war, the ones that are famous for doing acid trips for weeks on end and having giant fucking sessions of what they would call free love, and I quote unquote. But, you know, they got to experience the American dream. After World War II, the United States experienced the greatest time of economic prosperity our country had ever seen. You could get you could get a job, just the husband could get a job, the mother could stay at home, they could get a house, get a car, and they could pay their bills, and it would all be affordable. The boomers are also the ones that over the past 3 or 4 decades, they keep voting for socialism. They keep voting for more benefits, more health care, more Social Security, more bills to fund different fucking benefits for them. They're the ones that was full of the fucking degeneracy during the 60s and 70s, and the ones that have virtually destroyed our economy and warped our culture. They're the ones complaining about how weak millennials and Zoomers are, and how we've ruined the world. And I just think to myself, this is the reason why people fucking hate boomers, because if they're not clinically retarded, they're corrupt individuals that are in complete denial of what they've done, and either way, they're so stuck up and prideful with their own head shoved up their own fucking ass that they will never, ever be able to come up and take responsibility for what their generation has done to this country. And you go into any comment section where boomers are commenting, and you will just see it, just flat fucking out, that there is a reason why there's a boomer stereotype. There's a reason why millennials and Zoomers say, you know, okay boomer, whenever dealing with boomers, because boomers are fucking stupid, corrupt, and prideful. And the only thing we can say is, like, whatever, old man. That's basically what okay boomer means. It's like, whatever. Like, I know you're talking a bunch of bullshit, but there's nothing I can say to convince you otherwise, because you're stuck in your old fucking ways. And it makes us sick. Like, I was born in 1985. I'm still technically a millennial because I was under the age of 18 by the time the year 2000 rolled around. But, you know, my son's a Zoomer. He's my oldest son's 14, and we both get the frickin' boomer meme because we're both having to live in the shitty world that the boomers created, that was handed to them golden and pristine on a silver platter by the greatest generation. You know, the same generation that voted to gut the Second Amendment and vastly increase federal powers, the alleged greatest generation, they got wealth and prosperity handed to them on a silver platter, and they shit on it. And then, after they've destroyed the country, and after they've sold their children, their grandchildren, and their great-grandchildren into virtual debt slavery, they had the fucking gall to blame us for it. If you're a boomer and watching this, and you have an IQ level above room temperature and you're able to comprehend what we're saying and recognize it as the truth, congratulations, you're a diamond in the rough. You are one of the very few people of your generation that is able to accept constructive criticism, accept the faults of your generation, and see the plight that we've been handed a mess. Millennials and Zoomers, we've been handed an absolute horrible fucking mess, a house of cards that is ready to tumble. That is, frankly, I'm going to say it outright, it's supporting you boomers. What do you think's going to happen if all of the millennials, the Zoomers, and even the Gen Xers, what do you think's going to happen if we can't fund Social Security anymore, or we can't fund your pensions, or they can't collect enough tax dollars? What do you think's going to happen if the economy collapses after the fucking boomer politicians that y'all have kept into power for decades? I'm talking about Pelosi, I'm talking about Cornyn, I'm talking about all these fucking boomers that have been in power and have been continuing to be reelected by boomers for decades, that are destroying this country, destroying this economy, and putting your own benefits in jeopardy. What's going to happen when millennials and Zoomers are no longer able to hold up that house of cards that's propping you up? You're too old to work, but there ain't nobody to fund your benefits. So what are you going to do? Rob, steal, murder? You going to be a fucking pirate? Because I'm thinking to myself, you've got a lot of self-reflecting to do. A hell of a lot of self-reflecting. And you have to stop blaming millennials and Zoomers for the bed that you've made for everybody. I'd like to keep this video above around 10 minutes, but I really don't have anything to say that I haven't already said, and I certainly don't want to repeat myself. So, leave a like, feel free to subscribe. If you disagree with what I have to say, and you happen to belong to the generation right after the greatest generation, all I got to say is, okay, boomer.